Welcome to the GreatSpiralCity. The city is just one of the cities that I'm making in my new Let's Play called Designing New Cities. This is episode 5, and the city is something that I'm going to show you how to make during this episode. The map that I will be using for this city is called Someplace Else, and it's a custom map I have found on the Steam workshop. And I will put the link in the description of this video if you like the map. But the point here is that I like this middle area here that has a nice flat area where I can build the spiral. Now, this is going to be here, mostly, and then it might spill over to one of the other areas, which is why I'm buying these out. In the middle here, there is already this runabout that leads the highways, but this is something that I do not need, so I'm going to be clearing this out, and all the highways in the middle where I plan to start this spiral city. Now, I also need to change the name of this place into the GreatSpiralCity. With that done, I'll just clean up these roads, and then we can start. Now that I have this larger area here in the middle finished and cleaned up, I can actually start building my spiral. Now the easiest way to build the spiral is just to use these 2-lane one-way roads with trees and then just go from the middle and outwards. Now I just need to check where exactly is my middle to make sure that I build the spiral exactly where there is going to be the largest area for it to develop. So that looks like 3 trees here and then in the middle of them. Okay, so that means here is where I'm going to have the center of the spiral. Now I'm starting from a curved road going like this and then just expanding this, but I need to know that I need to have the power starting from here in the middle, which is why I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger just so that I can fit a power plant, a solar power plant to begin with. So I'm gonna go with something like this. That should provide enough area here for a solar power plant and anything else that I want to make. Now the key thing here is that I want to have buildings only on the inside of the spiral. That means that when I reach an area like this, I actually want the inside to be all the way towards this road. Now, what this is going to create is a little bit of an issue, and I'll show you why. Because when you have the spiral, I just need to actually build this a little bit nicer. What this does is when you have two roads that are next to each other and they have 4x4 zoning, they kind of interlace like this. And now the left side of this road is actually creating a problem for zoning on the right side here. And as I said, I want to zone on the right, leave the left lane open for traffic, but this would create a problem because I wouldn't be able to zone here. Now there is kind of a very simple fix for this, and I will show you. You just take the paths and then you uncheck all the options so you can build them manually where you want to build them, and then you take the free tool and then you just start making paths. And look what happens. The zones are gone. There's no zoning. But on the other hand, we have a small problem here where these zones are still damaged and unuseful. Now, if I delete these roads and then create them again, I shouldn't have such issues. And there we go. Now I can build on the inside, zone on the inside, without these zones overlapping. So all I have to do, keep making paths alongside this left side of the road, and that will prevent zones from being created, which will then prevent the zones from messing with the zones. Now, as I have completed setting up the paths and disabling the zones on the left side, you can see that I can only zone on the inside. This is what I want to continue doing as I develop the spiral further. Now the reason why I have left the extra area that you can see here is because this is where I will be placing buildings, for example like the hospital, that take up a little bit more space than the zones themselves if I want to just build houses. Also, I want additional paths going from here to here and then connecting in between buildings like this. Let me just change the path. Like this, and then if I want to cross the road and have my teams go over, because there are no crosswalks, they need to use paths like this and then go down. This way, whoever works here can go over here just by using the paths behind his home. So he gets out here, he goes to the left, gets on a path, goes down here, goes across, and then he's over here. And if he wants to enter this area, he can do so from here. This way, I can interconnect these things without having crosswalks inside of these streets. Now to continue with the roads. Now that I have finished up a little bit more of the spiral, I need to show you how the traffic is going to be coming in. And it's going to be coming in here through these highways. And I think you are figuring that out by yourselves, considering the fact that the traffic is going this way. As for getting out, it's going to come out wherever the spiral currently is at. So if the spiral has gotten up to here, that means that it will go like this and into the highway. On the other one, same thing, takes the traffic to the highway, which is currently over here and is able to take the traffic out. Now for the traffic that needs to be coming in, we start off from here and we can do a tunnel going down one way and then getting into here, and from here you can exit the tunnel up here and then into the street here. Same thing for the other highway, and now we have 2 lanes converging into a 2-lane road. It's a one-way, so they'll just use the outer left if they want to continue going forward, and the inner right if they want to stop by a zoned area here. Now as for the power, I do need to set that up, and that is going to be one of these streets that is going to be an actual cross street, and then on here we can place the actual power plant. And also a necessary thing is the incinerator. I want it to be far away from folks so nobody is getting sick from it, so placing it actually a little bit over here. I need to move this, and then there we go. So the incinerator is right here and should create too many problems for the sims around them. I have added in the water network with a pumping station up here and a sewage dumping station over here. Now I would like to ask you to hit that like button below if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Now the next thing in the city that I need to build is a road that is going to bring back those trucks when they go out to collect trash. So they get out here, go through this one-way road into the spiral, they pick up all the trash from here, and then they get up to here, for example. But somehow they have to get back, and since these roads are one-way roads, it needs to actually be a tunnel. Now because I'm building on the inside, this means that I can use the outside to actually build small tunnels like this, which are going to bring back the traffic, especially the garbage disposal and other things like that. So I will have to dig it a little bit deeper because I already have a tunnel here, and then bring it back up to connect to here. So now I have a way for the trucks to exit their building, go out here, collect the trash, and then they come in here and then they bring back the trash to be incinerated. The same thing can be done with, for example, a hospital, a fire department, and a police station. This way they all send out their vehicles into the spiral, and at some point they go back out. But because there is a limited range how far they can go and be effective, I'll have to rebuild these services once in a while during the building of the spiral. Now that all the services are done, I just need to start building schools and homes, and then educate those teams and have them working out in the commercial areas. Now the commercial areas are going to be intertwined with the residential areas so that sims don't have to walk very far, but we also have to have some industry to create generic goods for the sims to have something to shop in those shops. Now the question is where to put that industry. If we put it over here at the start, they will create the goods, they will get the resources required from the highways, then they create the goods here, and then they can send out the goods out here. And since there is an incineration plant here already making a lot of dirty air and ground, we can actually put the industry here and have it build those goods. And once they finish doing that, they can send them to the shops that are going to be here along with sims who are going to be living here. Now the incineration plant might actually develop some pollution here. I'll put the sims here at first, and then I'll remove them if I see them getting sick. So that is in essence how you start a spiral city. Now I'm going to play a little bit and then fast forward you to when this spiral is fully operational. Well, here it is, an operational spiral city. You can see that the vehicles are moving quite fast. This is because I used the manual road override on the speed limit, and I've set up 70 speed limit on these 2-lane one-way roads so that the traffic can flow really nicely and speedily across the city, and that makes the civil vehicles not despawn because they have time to finish the route through the city. Now the trick is that eventually I have to add these off-ramps from the roads that are the main part of the spiral down back into the center where they will be able to go back, because this is where the garbage collection is currently set up. And I have added additional services. Now that I have expanded the spiral a bit more, I have a new medical clinic, crematorium, firehouse and police station up here, and this provides the services for the new homes. If I take a look at the overlays, you can see that education has 3 elementary schools, 2 high schools. I haven't yet set up a university, and if you take a look at the fire, you can see that there is a problem only with the actual effect from the building where the buildings aren't covered and they are red, but that doesn't mean that vehicles from this fire department cannot use this road and go to any home that there is, especially this one here can cover all the homes that are on these inner rings up until here. Same goes for police, same goes for health. They might not actually show green coverage on these streets, but the vehicles themselves can go, and if they need to make a full circle, they go into here and then come back out through here, as you just saw that cars go into the crematorium. And that is how the Spiral City works out. Now I still don't have any demand for the industry, so I'm going to put off building that for a while, and then later on, because here is going to be the start of industry, later on I'll have industry on the spiral itself. Well, I think I've shown you pretty much the entire build, and I would like to thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more videos.